There's a scene. It happens more than once, so it's basically a recurring image in One Piece, where the Thousand Sun is docked or sailing, and the crew is doing whatever the crew does. Luffy is eating, Usopp is inventing something, Nami is reading her maps, and Zoro is training, not preparing for a specific fight, not recovering from one, just training. Because that's what he does when nothing is happening. And I used to watch that and think, this guy is so disciplined. But the more I watched, the more that word started to feel wrong. Discipline implies a choice. You decide to do the hard thing when the easy thing is available. But what if the easy thing isn't actually available to you? What if the rest isn't an option? Not because of your schedule, but because of something inside you that won't let you stop. That's a different thing entirely. That's not discipline. That's something closer to fear. Oda introduces Zoro tied to a pole, 3 days without food or water. And when someone asks if he's okay, he doesn't say yes, he doesn't say no. He asks about his words. That's a writer making a deliberate choice. Out of everything Oda could have had Zoro say in that moment, that's what he reaches for. Not survival, not comfort, his tools. Then comes the Kuina scene. One flashback, one dead girl, and Oda moves on. He doesn't give Zoro a second flashback about her. He doesn't show him grieving with the crew. He doesn't let him process it on the screen. He takes a sword and he runs toward his goal. Every Straw Hat has an off switch. Luffy goofs around between islands. Usopp plays games with the crew. Nami relaxes. Robin reads. Even Sanji cooks for pleasure, not just function. But Zoro has two states, training or unconscious. There's not a middle stage here. No hanging out, no wasting time. The second he's awake and not in a fight, he's in the training room or on the deck lifting weights. And when he sleeps hard, like someone who pushed until the body just shut down. That's not a routine, that's an avoidance pattern. Because the alternative, being a person, sitting still, existing without a purpose in his hands, that might require him to feel something he's been outrunning since he was a kid. But I want to focus on something smaller, just before it. Zoro absorbs every ounce of Luffy's pain, all of it. And he's still standing. When Sanji finds him covered in blood, barely alive, Zoro doesn't explain, doesn't ask for help, doesn't even acknowledge what just happened to his body. Nothing happened. That line lands because everything the show built before it. We know by that point, Zoro doesn't experience his own suffering as something worth naming. It happened, it's done, move forward. That's not just stoicism, that's someone genuinely doesn't register their own pain as information worth processing, which is either the most disciplined thing imaginable or a sign that something broke a long time ago and never got fixed. So, is Zoro disciplined or is he scared? I don't think the show answers that. I don't think Oda wants it answered. Because from outside, a person running from something and a person running towards something looks exactly the same. Same pace, same expression, and same refusal to stop. The only difference is what happens if they ever do. Zoro never stops, the show never lets him, and maybe that's the point. Maybe Oda knows that the most interesting thing about this character isn't the answer. It's that Zoro himself doesn't know, and he is never going to slow down long enough to find out.